guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. If you'd like, hit that subscribe, the like, hit the notification bell whenever you want to hear my podcast come out. That would be truly appreciated. So today we're getting into yet again another red flag. And today's red flag is more geared towards lying. And I'm talking about lying early on into the dating scene and when you're talking to someone and getting to know someone. Because at the end of the day, why are you lying to someone about something so soon? Even if it's something small. From my own personal experience, I had someone lie to me early on in the relationship that I had no idea until it came to light. Because at the end of the day, I see it like this. If they can lie to you about something small when they don't even know you, you better believe that later on when they do know you, they can lie about something bigger. And I get that people do little white lies during the dating stages to seem more intelligent or cooler, or they have this lavish lifestyle, which may not be the case. But at the end of the day, you need to remember that your true colors will always show, no matter what. So why not be honest from the very beginning instead of bullshitting someone? Obviously, this topic isn't black or white. There's always some kind of in between and that little gray area. But when it comes to dating early on and someone's lying to you or making a little white lie, I think it's a red flag. So let's get into this little red flag here because I myself have gone through it. I just didn't know it was a red flag because I was too young to know that it was a red flag. And although the lie that my ex had told me was smaller when you look at the things that people can lie about, it really paints the bigger picture for me of the type of person he was. And to be honest, if you're going to start off a relationship with little white lies, the other person will end up developing trust issues towards you or trust issues in that relationship in general. Instead of just starting that relationship with an open slate, clean slate, and honesty. So I'm going to tell you the story with my ex. I was about 23 when I met him, and he was 29. At least that's what he had told me at the time. Me being this fresh 23-year-old, fresh out of college, I was like, oh yeah, he's 29, whatever. And I always was the type that at that age, I was like, I don't want to date anyone more than 4 years older than me. It's not for me. But then here comes this man, right? Having no idea of what his real age was and taking his word for what it was that he was 29, I believed him. We continued to date, talk, the whole nine for about 3 months. April comes around. Guess whose birthday it is? You got it. So as we went to his family's house to actually celebrate his birthday, I handed him a birthday card saying happy birthday, that he was turning 30, like big 30th. When I tell you that man opened that card in front of his mother, and the mother started dying laughing like, oh my God, that's hilarious. That's so cute. I literally was like, what is she talking about? My radars went off. I was so confused at why she thought it was so funny. But then when we were away from the family and we had one-on-one time to talk, I was like, so how old are you really? Because why is your mom dying laughing at my card that's saying happy 30th? He's like, oh, she's just like that. Whatever, no big deal. I was like, let me see your license. Let me see your passport. And at first he didn't want to show me. But then after that, he did. And then he was like, here. And then I looked at the year he was born. And I was like, bro, you're literally turning 32. Like, that is so wrong on so many levels for you not to tell me that. So we had like a whole talk about it and why he lied and all this bullshit. And me at that age, I didn't know any better. So I was like, all right, whatever. I forgive him for this. At that age, nobody knows what they're getting themselves into, let alone know if that's a red flag or not. But back then, I also didn't think it was a red flag. But later on, his true colors showed. And it was definitely one of the first telling signs to tell me the type of person he was. Because as time went on, it definitely showed me why this is one of the key factors in red flags that we have today when it comes to men and women. And granted, it wasn't this like, oh, big, huge lie, But it was still a lie enough to know that this man couldn't be honest from the beginning, that he barely even knew me then. And honestly, for me, when you don't know someone, that's when I feel like you can be your truest and authentic self, because eventually these people are going to see who you really are later on. Yeah, you could take it back a notch, be a little more classy or a little less ratchet, whatever it is. I feel like you're always putting your best foot forward, but at least you're not lying about putting that best foot forward, and you're not acting like someone you're not. And even though my ex lied about his age, to some people it might be a big deal breaker, and to others it might not be one at all. But when I sit back and look at the bigger picture for what it is, having come to terms with themselves and who they are as an individual, or they're just not happy with where they're at and they feel the need to say they are a different age than what they truly are. But let me tell you this. If I come across anyone that is telling me a white lie or a lie in general, and I find out later on, you best believe that they get cut off. Because if you have the decency to lie to me and lie to my face, you definitely have the balls to lie to me later on, and maybe even about something bigger. And with my ex, that one small lie actually became more lies later on. And I would actually catch him in these little lies. And listen, there's really no excuse as to why someone is lying, especially during the dating period of getting to know someone, because those are the beginning stages. You have to evaluate that, and you have to see why the hell are they even bothering to lie. Now, let's say you catch them in the lie, you bring it up to them. You want to evaluate their reaction. You want to see how they react to the information that you just brought to their attention. Because if they're going to get mad at you because you caught them in their own lie, you have to know that that is just pure manipulation. Because then they're going to put you down this guilt trip of, oh, you don't trust me, or oh, you don't, whatever the case may be. And why the hell would anyone trust someone who is starting something off with a lie, even if it's a white lie? Because you need to remember that words without action is manipulation. So I want to get into maybe some obvious things that you can look out for when someone is lying. Not saying that every person in the world acts the same way when they're lying, because there's so many different reactions people actually have. But I just want to share some commonalities that I've noticed when someone's been lying to me. And the first one is being eye contact. Not a lot of people could look you dead in your eye while they are lying to you. And if they can do that, I really question a lot of shit. I always say that the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And when someone can't make that eye contact with you, it just means they have something to hide. Another thing I've noticed is that people will tend to purse their lips. And I see it as a way that maybe they are withholding information, or they're trying to hold back from something and not spilling it out. And when I see someone pursing their lips, I'm usually questioning, like, is there something else that I should know that you're not telling me? Another thing that I look out for is how they start acting around me. Sometimes liars tend to start distancing themselves from you, and it happens suddenly. And what I mean by that is that you can be having a whole conversation, and then next thing you know, they kind of just lean away from you. Or if they were very affectionate and physical, they kind of just tend to step back, and they are not the same way they were. And I personally see that as an indicator that maybe something's going on with the story that's being told or what is being said, because they're becoming uncomfortable around you, telling you this lie. Another big one is obvious as hell. If the stories don't match up, you know there was a lie somewhere in the whole scheme of things. And it could be something so small like, he went with A and B to location D, and then all of a sudden when he retells that story 2 months later around friends or something, it ended up being location Z, and it was nothing from what he told you, but that's the story he told you. He told you he went to D location and it was actually Z. Or even to the point that characters change in the story. It could be different friends that he had mentioned to you, but when he's telling the story to someone else, it could be a whole different set of friends. Another thing with liars that I have noticed is that they tend to contradict themselves. And this one's big because I personally have noticed this one myself from not just my ex, but many other people that have come in and out of my life. And they can be something small, just like the date or the time. For example, if you got invited somewhere, they could tell you one date and then out of nowhere, the time and the date has changed. And I'm not saying that's the only thing and that's a big deal. No, because obviously we're human. We can forget. We can confuse things. I get it. But sometimes when someone lies, they usually can't keep up with their own stories at some point. But look out for any kind of contradiction within the story that they are telling you. And last but not least, these people will usually always have a tendency to have an excuse for something. And they're always so quick to make an excuse that it almost seems so effortlessly for them. Dating someone who lies or tells you white lies is not easy, nor is it something that you actually want to deal with, nor go through. Especially if they go as far as trying to cover up their tracks just so you don't find out. And sometimes we get so far into relationships that we neglect these little signs when someone is lying to us. But be aware that any kind of lie or white lie can definitely bring red flag vibes to the table. So guys, look out for yourself. Pay attention to anything that seems kind of off. And with that being said, thank you for tuning in like always. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.